Morning, guys. Is it working? Yeah. Morning, guys. Monday. How's it going? Great show yesterday. Thanks for asking. So, today, another topic. Salespeople make the world go around, but let's acknowledge, what salespeople are in reality. And the reality of where we're at in the virtual deposit contract space. I want to bring up two faces. First, I want to bring up Gary Vee. Gary Vee is this great guy. Everybody loves him because he's telling you what Anthony Robbins did when I was growing up. He's getting you motivated, making you want to do the things that are going to make your life better. Great stuff. Problem? He's a fucking two-faced, bold fucking liar. He tells you have to punch, jab, punch. In other words, give, and then ask for something. He's got these fucking stupid bullshit memes. He was in a car one day, somebody, oh look, it's Gary Vee. What should I tell my friend, brother, infatuation? What should I tell them? How do I get them motivated? And he screams out the window, you're gonna die. Oh, it's so amazing, Gary. I never thought about that. Well, if you haven't thought about that, then you're a fucking idiot. Go fucking get off this goddamn screen and go do something. Make a mistake in life. Live. Right? So Gary Vee, he's like this icon who comes up with these bullshit memes and he totally tells you can be where he is, yet he doesn't in no way, shape, or form tell you how to get to where he is. Why? Because what Gary does to get where he is, he gets on his fucking knees and sucks off whoever's going to tell him who the owner of Procter & Gamble is, who the owner of Coca-Cola is, who the owner of the biggest advertising budgets in the world are. And then once he gets in there, he deep throats those fuckers. He is all about meeting the right person. He says nothing in his videos about associating, guilt by association. He says nothing about that. He says nothing to the idea of who he's meeting and why he's where he's at. He's leading you to believe it's his actions, it's his personality, it's his ability on his TV show to get fucking Anthony Robbins on there. The guy is a fucking two-faced liar when it comes to how he gets your attention. Because if he was honest, he'd let you know he sucks long, hard on the fucking dong of the biggest money in the ad industry. That's it. That's why he has so much money, and maybe if he's lucky one day will own the Jets. Number two, less of a bold-faced liar is our current administrator-in-chief, Donald J. Rumpface. That guy sucks. He's a piece of shit. He's nowhere near as bad as the people before him because he has nowhere near the blood on his hands of the guy who married a man, Obama, or, the ones before him, and then the ones before them. Those people, those are really evil, really wicked people. This current one we have, he's not yet that wicked, but what makes him such a fucking piece of shit in my book, he has based everything in his world on the same thing that the reason I know you guys is, because he is a promise maker, and he doesn't keep his promises, and he writes about it, and he fucking glorifies in the idea he makes a deal, and then when it comes for him to pay out, that time for him to pay out, does he pay? No. Until you fucking become enough of a problem that he has to pay you, or he only pays you for what he partially. This is how he got to where he is. He makes promises and then renegotiates contracts after the fact. In the blockchain world, Donald Trump would be fucking drinking water out of a gutter. Okay? Because you can't fucking annihilate a contract the way he does. He's a piece of shit. Okay? When it comes to honest business, he's a piece of shit. And he represents the fucking huge pile of poo that we all fucking live and fucking eat off of. Anyway, when I say the pile of poo, I mean the monetary system that we currently have. So these two guys are pieces of shit. And you can obviously tell I'm having a tough time correlating these two assholes into what I'm about to say. But what I really want to say is these contracts in the virtual deposit contract space, they're a fucking suck. I will not endorse another one beyond P3D, and only P3D because it was the incarnation of all these pieces of shit that I played with. Adam, I feel so bad, man. Why'd you do that, dude? Anyways, if I ever got as lucky as Adam to have some fuckhead developer do something with me and my face. And I know I let it happen with Kenny, so I am stupid, so it probably could happen if, here are my requirements. If you want my face on a coin, that is kind of funny, huh? Never gonna happen. But if you want me to endorse a coin and maybe have my face on it, these priorities need to be met. First, the first token needs to be sold at a price point of about 0.005 ETH. This is to ensure that the first token buyer does not get more than a 1% advantage over the second token buyer. Every fucking contract out there has a 0.701 price point. I don't know if that's how many zeros it is, but it's fucking low. Meaning the first person that buys in any of these contracts that we play with, the first person gets 13,500 tokens with the first ETH. The second ETH buys 5,800 tokens. That's a 58% difference in the amount of purchasing power the first ETH has over the second ETH. And it just keeps going down and creates exactly what I've always complained about, the disproportionate distribution of wealth and power. Every one of these coins, the basis of it is exactly that, a tremendously disproportionate distribution of power and money. Another thing I would insist on, in order for me to believe in any other clone that comes along in the virtual deposit contract space, is at a certain price point, when you buy in or when you sell at a certain unit, there is a different allocation of dividends and ability to move a huge source of revenue inside of the contract out. What I'm trying to essentially say is the game's already, with my first point, already rigged towards first buyers and towards anybody who's got a lot. Those people should understand that they're the basis of everything else. And in order to believe in that, their sacrifice needs to be as great as their contribution. Otherwise, we're going to continue to have, like, if FIFIM didn't come in and become the number one, I mean, I don't even want to make that analogy. The point is guys, we now have been educated enough in this virtual deposit contract space to get a clear understanding that, oh, and the third one, I think dividends, the taxing of the buying and the selling should be closer to like 2 or 3%. Granted, we're not going to get as many gains, but the growth opportunity that a virtual deposit contract would have over any traditional saving institution would be invaluable. Getting rid of the three things I spoke to, the ability for large whales to move funds readily and easily as anybody with a small amount of funds, that's wrong, especially if they're going to put into a contract I believe in. The backbone should remain a backbone. You just can't rip the spine out of a body and expect the body to stand. The starting distribution of the tokens, they should be managed much more equitably. As a matter of fact, anybody who put their name on the token, they should be not able to buy in until there's at least a few hundred ETH into the contract. Any of the ambassadors or what have you, in order to really ensure the altruistic nature, I believe, of what the virtual deposit contract space should be. And lastly, the dividends or the tax of the. These are things that I think need to be discussed, and they won't be. That's all we are. We're out for ourselves at the cost of everybody else. That's exactly the definition of this fucking space. Out for ourselves at the cost of those behind or underneath us. That's how I got to where I was. I was first in. Because I followed the fucking ultimate promoter in this space, Craig Grant, going down in history. Guy's gonna go down in history, and he's the reason P3D and the whole entire virtual deposit contract space. Him and Trevon. Trevon could have had it if he didn't have his tail between his legs, running around worried about what people are gonna think and do to him. Craig's got balls. You can't take it away from him. That guy's straight up gangster, man. You know, give it to him there at least. So what if he's a piece of shit? So what if he's not somebody you want to know? He's a bigger man than anybody else here when it comes down to getting what he wants. That's clear. And that's our problem. And that also is who you and I are down to the core. And until we resolve this virtual deposit contract space will remain a few $1 million if we're lucky. If we're lucky. or unless this gambling FOMO 3D thing, which I kind of look forward to because I like to see blood of others that want to compete. Anybody that wants to compete, I love to see him bleed, including myself. But otherwise, in the altruistic sense of the conception of what a virtual deposit contract is, it's bullshit. And you know why it's bullshit? It's because of cocksuckers like you and me thinking that we can make out for ourselves at the cost of others. Time to give. Seriously. So that's what I thought about when I woke up this morning. What'd you think about it? Like and subscribe, click the bell button if you like. If not, be well. Thanks for watching way too long of a video. Sorry.